Hello everybody, welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video I'm taking a look at the Wei Jiang Robot Force, the Chief Army Seabrow fighter. It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? This guy has come fresh from TF Direct, and it is of course Wei Jiang's oversized version of the Titans Returns Highbrow. The box is pretty simplistic. We've got some artwork on the side, and on the back there we've got the head deformation, and we've got other figures available in the line. And here we have him out of his plastic prison. My biggest gripe with these is how big the kind of unbranded logo is on the front of their chests. I want to get stickers to make it look more official, I guess, and I don't like that they stick that big chunk of a logo on the front there. Now, as you can see, there are some mold differences between this guy and his official counterpart, and also some color differences as well. If we just bring in the official Highbrow, as you can see, there's a slight difference in scale, and the color is completely different as well. The actual beige kind of off-white color is the same, but the blue is completely different. I think I actually prefer the Wei Jiang blue. I think it's kind of closer to the source material from the Generation 1 cartoon, but I do prefer the grey crotch piece on the official product. The blue with the yellow accents, it's just not really doing it for me. If you look at the shoulder sections here, you can see that the paint application on the official product, there's a lot of yellow there where they just highlight these sections here. We have foldable wing flaps on the legs. That's a nice touch. These are quite annoying to say the least. They just jet out, and these fold outwards, and it's a much cleaner look on the side of the feet. Taking a look at the back now, although we can fold these propeller blades in on the official, they look like they're gonna break. These are a lot sturdier, and it's a lot more obvious that they fold. And again, looking at the side profile, we have the additional paint applications on the underside of the arm, and then if we look at the rotor blade sections, we've actually got this grey piped section on the official product, and that's lacking on the Wei Jiang, as too is the red strip down the legs. But all of this toe and front of the leg section on the Wei Jiang product is die cast. This is all die cast metal. Let's take a look at the face sculpts. Both are good. I actually think I prefer the look of the Wei Jiang. I think it looks more like his cartoon counterpart. And if we transform these up, we've got a fair bit of detail on the Wei Jiang. I imagine that's just because of the sheer size of him. They're able to get more of that detail across, and it's got really nice articulation on that head as well. And we have got it on the Highbrow version, but it's very, very small indeed, and I don't want to break it. Still, it would have been nice if we had something that covers the actual bot face on the back there, just a flap or something that came down. They've already enlarged and slightly changed the sculpt, so why not just add that additional piece? I am genuinely looking forward to getting the rest of the team. Just don't expect these to be masterpiece quality. These are pretty much the same as what you get with a Hasbro Voyager. If you push things where they're not meant to go, then things will break. But they are good toys, and they do have that really good fun factor about them. Highbrow stands about 7.5 inches tall from feet to the top of his wings, and weighs in at a very admirable 203 grams. That's 7.2 ounces. And here is alongside some of the other oversized generation style figures. Obviously we have the MBK version of the generation toy products, and we have the Wei Jiang oversized version of the Combiner Wars breakdown. They're all very in keeping, and it's a very good scale as well. They're definitely the size of Voyager products, and in my personal opinion, this is sort of the size that Hasbro should have done those headmasters in the first place. Let's cover the articulation. The head can look up and down, left and right, using the ball jointed head of the headmaster. We have a friction joint going around. We have pivot on that shoulder, but we also have a ball joint on the inside of that shoulder. We have a ratchet joint on the elbow. We have a bend at the wrist. We have no waist rotation whatsoever. We have friction joint going out. We have a ratchet coming out to the side. There's an upper thigh rotation, and there's a nice deep bend at the knee. And again, we have no articulation on those feet other than the heel spur going back and forth. Right, to get Highbrow transformed up, you want to bring the heel spurs back into those feet, bend the fists back into the wrists, turn the legs outwards, make sure that the wing sections are facing upwards, pull and extend the waist piece. With that waist joint extended, we can then bring this ratchet joint all the way up, and at the same time bend the knee over. That's just going to slide into that gap, and then we can tab these pieces together, collapse the shoulder down, and there's a tab here and a slot just on the underside of the armpit, and this knobbin here would just tab in on here. So collapse that down and then just slide that in. Remove your headmaster and transform him back into his robot mode, and you want to have him in the seated position. So arms up, legs down, like so. Bring the cockpit cover up and over, and that is just going to tab in like this. We can then open up the cockpit, and as you can see in there, we've got a nice little seat going on. We can push the landing gear down, bring in our headmaster, and he is just going to sit in there nice and comfortably, so you can watch the world go by. Close off the cover around him, and then we can just open up these blades fully, so we can then tab in the guns on the underside of each wing. And here we have him in his vehicle mode. It's a very nice vehicle mode. It's a great nod to the original animation model, but it is not perfect. There's so much weight in this rear end now that once we have the landing gear down, yeah, it just tips. It tips every time. There's no way of keeping this aft end up unless we had some wheels or something at the back here, which unfortunately we don't. So it's just gonna tip every time, but yeah, it's nice. Unfortunately, these will still clash. The clearance is not really there, but it does look good in this color. It's a very solid piece, and I especially like how the cockpit section looks with all the detailing and the pilot flying along there. It's nice to see it done in this size. There we go. I've mounted the guns on the front there to try and balance it out, but that's not going to work. I would have liked these pieces here to tab together better. There is a tab there, but you can push all you want and it keeps coming apart. I don't know if it's slightly warped. Unfortunately, it doesn't work as well as it should. And once again, here we have the size difference between the two. It's quite noticeable in their alt modes, but I stand by my statement that I do prefer how this guy looks in his alt mode. That big huge cockpit, the size does do it justice, although we do have this kind of outlined kind of pinstriped section on the official release, but that being said, it's not done to an exceptional standard and it's quite blurry, so I'm happy that they decided against it. yes, I'm pretty impressed by these offerings from Wei Jiang. They're not the most complex of figures. They've taken a good figure and they've slightly improved on it. I just like the size of these. I really wish I had a G1 headmaster, because the headmasters that these use seem very similar in scale to the original headmasters. So I'm wondering if they would be cross-compatible and if they would fit. If anybody does know, please let me know, because yes, I'm very intrigued. I'm very much looking forward to them doing Brainstorm and Chrome Dome. Honestly cannot wait for those. And then who knows, maybe they'll even do a different version of Spike and Seabrow, so we can have an alternative head for Fort Max. Who knows? Maybe that'd be nice. You know, then they'd all kind of scale together and they'd all look rather spiffing in their Voyager scale. Thanks again to TF Direct for making this review possible. If you'd like to purchase this product, I've included a link in the description below. Until next time, from myself and Seabrow, thanks for watching. Goodbye.